Hello, and welcome to Success at Scale, the podcast that covers business stories from experienced entrepreneurs and business leaders and startup founders on how to translate business ideas into real business results. I'm your host, Gregg Stein, and today we're going to talk with Emil Winebrand, who's the co-founder and CEO of insoundz. Well, if you haven't heard of insoundz before, you're about to. insoundz is an audio enhancing API that automatically removes background noise, treats reverberation, enhances speech and audio content in ways, well, quite frankly, that makes it from any device, any environment, any crummy sound you probably heard into crystal clear audio that's ready to distribute and consume. Let me tell you something. insoundz is about to shake up the world using generative AI in a new way. It's pretty exciting. So Emil, welcome. Tell us a little bit about you.
Hello. Hi, Greg. Hi, everyone. So my name is Emil Winebrand, and I'm one of the co-founders of insoundz. I have two great partners who are on the journey with me. We've started up insoundz to create amazing sound anywhere using any device and make life better for everyone.
Well, you have an amazing background yourself, right? You're like an expert in algorithmic AI and voice and audio. Tell us a little bit about your background and how you got into all of this.
Oh, wow. That's a long, yeah. So basically, my career started as an officer in the in the IDF. Been there for 10 years in elite intelligence technology, doing hush hush stuff. So as you imagine, sound is a big part of intelligence. So that's where I've got my career started. I've been passionate about sound, especially about noise cancellation and everything to do with noise since the start of my career as an electrical engineer. And I've been working for quite interesting companies during the years, like Microsoft and Magic Leap and stuff like that. But essentially, my passion was to make sound accessible to anyone and best quality possible.
That's amazing. So, like, once you got into this, right, you started realizing, was AI already a thing, or still? Because you were early in AI, right?
Oh yeah. So when we started off insoundz and started developing the technology, AI was just a very in the very beginning. Actually, being truthful, I've delved into AI when I was 15.
Wow.
So yeah, back then, though, that's a couple of years ago. So back then, actually, um, AI. Well, I remember asking one of my professors in the university about solving some problem with AI, and he told me I can't forget it. And he was a professor for computer vision. So imagine that. And he told me AI, that this is never going to work. Like focus on like things that work. I remember crystal clear him telling me that, and I was passionate about the whole concept. You know, the whole concept actually exists from the 60s, maybe 50s.
Mm.
Just there was not enough compute power to actually execute it. But I was so passionate about it from the get-go. Now, when we started insoundz, it was always on the back of my mind. We were, but it kind of was going in parallel with insoundz until we hit the wall, so to speak. We couldn't improve our quality anymore with classical signal processing. We tried to push the envelope with everything we could, and we said scrap everything. Let's see what AI can do for us. And we were one of the first one using AI for audio, for regenerating audio, speaker audio, sort of like today's buzzword, generative audio, generative AI, and stuff like that. We've been using that for a couple of years from now, and yeah, it made the whole difference. It made from something that is almost amazing to incredible, unbelievable.
Wow. So like if we were to do a conversation right now, if I understand correctly, the way insoundz works is we could have this conversation, record it, and then put it through magically, put it through this seamless workflow using insoundz, and it will give back like studio recorded sound. Despite if you had a truck driving by or something, it would take that out. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. Doesn't matter. Like I could have a dog barking here and people shouting and I don't know, kids crying, whatever you want. Basically, you have the generative audio and AI enhancement is actually like a sound engineer that you invested a lot of time and effort to train it to do the best type of audio enhancement possible. And it does it as a machine. It's not real human, but it does it amazingly. So imagine you have your private sound engineer that does it for you.
So
Yeah.
if we were to do it right now, like let's just have a conversation and then see what it happens when it's on and off, right? So like just as we're talking right now, I guess if we switched it on, you'd hear I'm using a microphone. I don't know if you're just using a computer, but it would dramatically change this conversation, right?
Yeah, it would improve it dramatically. Like even if I go like, let me try go like I don't know, 10 feet away like
Yep.
this.
Yep.
Can you do you hear the difference?
Yes.
So if we switch on insoundz AI right now, you'll definitely hear what it's all about.
Wow.
So
That's pretty
yeah,
crazy. So like as we're talking, basically it would bring you closer or give you the proximity effect of you being closer even though you're further away.
exactly. It would feel like you're speaking like 2 inches from the microphone, very close, very clean room, no noises, no reverberation, like best quality studio you can ever find.
This is crazy, man. This is crazy. And you know what's interesting about this is you're using AI to do this. There's, lots of other ways to do this with traditional audio gear, but it would cost you thousands of dollars to do that. Plus, you'd have to have someone who knows what they're doing, right? And pay them for their time as well, right? So I mean, really, this is incredibly cost saving.
Oh yeah. So let me get back closer. So basically, um, well, like to have a really high level studio for podcasting or for any content creation, you need to invest several thousands of dollars just in the room. Then you have the equipment and the software, another couple of $1,000, and then like a typical sound engineer hour would cost you about $200, give or take. And if you want to get to a level of highest earning podcasters out there like Joe Rogan and anyone else on that level, you definitely need to spend that money to get there.
Yeah.
So, and insoundz AI saves you everything. You can start uh, as as an amateur and get to the highest level, basically just a one button click away.
This is absolutely amazing. And, so it brings me to a point of wanting to zoom out a little bit in terms of AI, in terms of like, what do you think the impact of AI is on the broader audio industry? Like, where do you think all this is going?
Uh, well, I would say there are two paths. Either the machines replace us or either they empower us. So there's a lot of hype about machines replacing us and all the chat GPT and doing our homework and doing everything instead of us. We come to it from a whole different perspective. We want AI to make us better, not to replace us, but empower us, to allow us to do better content, to allow us to better communicate with each other, and not for our case is not to be frustrated from bad sound, but generally that's my take on AI.
Well, and there's so much going on. You mentioned the Chat GPT, and there's just so many moving parts right now. And it seems like every day you wake up, it's like a new dawn, a new day, right? You can, have images created, videos, whatever, right? I guess here's the question for you: are there any trends that have caught your eye in terms of AI and where it's all going, and things we should be watching out for, or looking out for, or be very excited about?
Yeah, so one major trend you can definitely see here is that AI machines or networks are growing so fast in terms of the amount of compute they take, that it goes to a level that only a very small number of um, companies could actually own significant AI. So this is a trend that's been going for last year. There's a different trend that is going towards the edge computing, which means that actually not growing but being more efficient, which I'm personally more connected to, because I believe that it cannot be technology that owned only by top five software companies in the world.
Mm.
It has to go to a level that it can run on any device everywhere, and this means you need to invest in smarter ways of training AIs and smarter ways of executing AIs rather than just putting on a lot of money and a lot of hardware on it.
Yeah.
So these are the true, yeah.
Well, what about like, so, okay, so some misconceptions and myths that are out there, right? So, yeah, there's the taking the job concept. But I do agree with you. I think, in any technological revolution, you take away a job, there's probably another one that's created. Is that a one-to-one relationship? That I don't know. But I guess in terms of, the broader scope of where this is all going, like, I don't know, where do you see it?
That's a tough one. So I think AI will be a very basic part of our life, as a smartphone today is an extension of your hand. You
Yeah.
cannot function without, you will not be able to function without AI. So it will be extension of your thought, of your brain. It will offload a lot of effort from you, from remembering stuff and doing stuff that maybe mundane stuff. But I think on the grander scale, it will actually empower us to do much more, be much more efficient human beings, creative, being more interactive, being more communicative, actually, and doing while that allowing yourself a little bit of rest. Doing some uh, actually less work but being more efficient. That's the key word here. So you'll be able to do more while you know having some balance in your life, which is very hard to achieve these days.
Yeah, well, I got to tell you, I'm pretty excited by the fact that, I could be driving in some noisy car and have insoundz fixing the sound for me in the background as I'm driving around, or removing that dog from barking, or whatever it is. This is a pretty exciting moment, I think, in the world of audio. And I know, the other thing is there's so many people that are focused on music and audio and entertainment in terms of, expanding distribution or monetizing, or all of these other areas that are rapidly changing as well. But it seems like you're really focused on a broader sense of communication, right? Is that did I get that right?
Yeah, yeah, you've nailed it. So there are several ways we communicate with each other, either by taking our creation and broadcasting it to the world, or one-on-one. So these are different types of communication, right? You can create content for everybody to consume, or you can have a conversation with your peers, your friends, your family. So different ways. um, yeah, and taking out the hardship of bad audio makes makes your life much easier. So imagine how many times you get annoyed by bad sound. Like you don't hear something, somebody doesn't hear you. So you don't understand something. It's such a difficult task for our brain actually, that when sound is so when sounds become severe, 35% of your brain power just goes to correcting the sound and understanding what's being said, instead of focusing on the on having on thinking about the whole content. You're just dealing on deciphering the sound.
Right.
So our AI basically stands between the microphone and you, and lets your brain do the thinking about the content, and he'll handle the bad audio.
It's brilliant. It really is brilliant. I mean, and it's one of those things that like you don't know that you have this problem, right? It's just like when it doesn't work, I can't hear you. What? When it doesn't work, like something's broken, right? But when it, you can kind of communicate through a, little can with a string, attached to it. It works, like you make it work. But when you
Yeah.
hear it all of a sudden incrementally like studio quality sound, I mean that's a whole different thing.
You can actually lay back and relax.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason why like high quality content makes you relax, because you can actually focus and close your eyes and imagine and think about the content, and not drive your brain on audio, on fixing audio.
Yeah.
Basically, that's 35% of your brain power goes to that, especially in bad cases.
Wow, crazy. Well, let me ask you a question about podcasting and creators in general, and how you're thinking about, like, do you have any advice for anybody that's out there that's doing podcasting? You have any advice for how they might do it better, or enhance their sound? Obviously, getting in sounds would be an ideal situation, but well, maybe how do they get in sounds?
Uh-huh. So you can actually log into our website and just sign in and get a free trial. You can use all insoundz functions for 2 weeks free of charge. Uh, and you can just take your, we have a web app. You can take your phone, you can take your laptop, and just start recording. Just try it out. I mean, and you can share it with your friends and get feedback right away. You can also get a score. Our AI actually knows what's the quality of the sound it's getting and outputting. So you can actually get a nice score and see if you're on studio quality, or it's subpar, or it's even very high level audio. So you can actually try it out and get the feeling of it.
That's amazing. And there's so many applications for all of this. It's hard to even think about, right? I mean, I can think about like anybody from myself doing this with you, a podcast, to, a large company, right? That might, have a call center, or, just day-to-day business even. This sounds, or someone driving in a car or in a factory, or I mean, there's so many applications.
Oh yeah, so many calls that I've been attending, and it is so difficult and demanding to be in tune with the call when you're not in the room, because again, you don't get all the sound details, you don't get everything, so you have to work twice as hard. And it's so relaxing when you get super high quality sound, and you're 100% sure you won't miss anything. Everything is getting to you, people are getting you, and you get everyone. This is like a game changer for your work environment, for your personal life. It changes everything.
Emil, what do you like to do when you're not leading in sounds to victory and or programming, or any of these kind of things? What do you like to do on a personal level?
I'm passionate about physics, super passionate about physics. This is my true love. This is how I actually got into sound, because I was so passionate about wave distribution and the way they propagate in space. And I'm passionate about quantum mechanics as physics. I'm passionate about astronomy. So I'm certified geek in every essence of
Certified
the
geek.
word.
I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. So whenever I have some free time, I actually read about astronomy. I'm it is yeah, that's one of my passion. I'm also passionate about biology. Kind of
Wow.
interesting, yeah. So I'm doing a lot of reading on genetics and heredity and stuff like that. So yeah.
You're one of the most brilliant guys I know, that's for sure. So, all right, let me ask you this. So you're newly so this show is entitled Success at Scale, and you're a relatively, I mean, you've been at it for a while, but you're a relatively new CEO. And you're a co-founder of the company, but you're relatively new, appointed as the CEO. Talk to me about, like, how has it been being in this role? Has it been, because you were the CTO, you've moved up to the CEO role. You're really kind of leading the charge here. Has that been an adjustment? What's that been like for you?
uh, it's a huge adjustment. It is it is actually altering my all my thought process. What is prioritized, what is important, how to actually make the company work, make people interact with each other in the best possible way. It's on my mind. So yeah, on top of AI and physics and stuff like that, I'm also throughout the day thinking of how to make my company run this as smooth as possible, how to make people interact better with each other, and who are the right people for the right position. So that's the addition that you have on top of relationship management with investors and service providers, and trying to be, our goal and our mission is to empower people. So I try to bring it not only to our product, but the way I interact with people, the way I interact with service providers, with customers. So I'm trying to bring our mission also into the daily way, the way we operate daily, so to speak.
It's pretty awesome to see the transition, to see the energy and momentum that you've created behind the brand. We've had the fortunate position to get to know you and work with you and the broader insoundz team. But let me tell you something, it is a machine. And I like I said at the beginning, I think this is a brand you're going to be seeing and hearing a lot more about for anybody that's listening out there. This is an exciting moment, not just in AI and tech and all of this kind of stuff, but I think this is an exciting moment in the way that you are kind of empowering people, not just at the company, but at large. It's pretty cool what you're doing. And I hope that people can experience and enjoy and feel the power that's associated with audio and the interaction and human interaction that we have, when we're communicating with one another, which it sounds like you're on the path to do. So one last question for you. What's next for you and insoundz? Where does it go from here?
Well, lots of stuff is coming up. So we didn't speak at all about music and how to empower people that want to communicate with the world through music. So still, one of the biggest problems for any beginner creator, singer, is to create a soundbite or a song that he can right away circulate through his friends and mix it and send it to a producer. So we want to help this creator economy, as this creator community as well. We're also looking to how to help people to use their content to monetize that and to distribute it better throughout the world using audio. So this is something that everyone
Wow.
should be waiting for. watch for. And yeah, lots of things are coming up.
Well, yeah, wow. I think everybody just heard it here first. This is big news. Sounds like there's a lot more coming in terms of music and other spaces where insoundz is going to play. Like I said earlier, it's a brand to watch. So here it is. So Emil, I love talking to you, and I think everyone has probably enjoyed this conversation equally. I guess my question is, where can people or the listeners find you, and where can the listeners find insoundz?
So everyone can find me on LinkedIn. My name is Emil Winebrand from insoundz. I'm the CEO, so it's very easy to get in touch with me. insoundz, you can log into www.insoundz.com and you can sign up and start right away and using our amazing AI machine. And yeah, I'm waiting to hear from everyone.
Right on, Emil. What an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us. For anybody that's listening out there, please like, share, subscribe, all that social media good stuff. We'd love to see you again here soon with Success at Scale with Triple G Ventures. Here again with Emil Winebrand at insoundz, www.insoundz.com. And until we speak next, thank you again, Emil. And
thank you, Gregg. Thanks, everyone.
peace.